And hello to all my Cancer friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free Psychic Tarot reading for June 2023. Now today they've dialed up for my great Cancers, a 4-corner spread. And a 4-corner spread is a great spread for general readings because it looks at those 4 main areas that people usually ask about in tarot, which is your health corner, your work corner, financial money corner, and the ever popular love corner, love and family stuff. Now we're going to take a brush through all 4 of these corners for you guys and see what is going on in the month of June for a whole bunch of my great Cancers. They've asked that I conclude your reading with a fun one. That is going to be animal totems. In fact, it's going to be 2 animal totems. We're going to be doing a transitional from one set of characteristics from one animal, getting out of that, going into another set of animal characteristics. So they're going to give us 2 animals. Very interesting to see what they give us there. Sometimes there are some wild ones involved there. Also going to conclude your reading with the rune stone, and that'll tie us nicely together here and into this project that we call June 2023. Now let's get started, guys. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. And right now I'm going to bring you in the overhead so you can watch. Here we go. We are live and recording. What I'm doing now here, Cancer, these are my ritual cuts. Basically cutting each deck into thirds, putting it back together in a separate order that satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It is the same procedure for personal private readings, so it's just like you're here with me now. So, 4 corners. Up here we got work, guys. This is where we're going to start off with work. Right, should be visible. Yep, I can actually move that a little higher. There we go. Create some more room. Over here, this is love corner. Pretty big one there. Down here, this is money, financial. Short and sweet. Moving over here, guys, this is health. Health also coming in as a big one. I need to do a discard on this one to see if that's a person or the energy. They say energy, so we're actually good with the card work there. Okay, the inverts as a whole are not too bad. They're pretty evenly distributed. Let's check the individual stories then. We got 2 out of 3 blocked here, so that's the only one I'm going to really check on. So I'm going to do a discard here to see if this work corner needs to stay mostly blocked or upright, and they say leave it blocked. So we're good to go, guys. Now it's just a matter of showing you and making sure you can see it all very clearly. I actually moved that off the screen. So let's do that, and then I'm going to make sure you can see it up close, and we'll talk about it again. So there goes work corner. Financial. Health. And the ever infamously popular love corner. All right, guys, let's do it. Let's get to work. Got those animal totems to get for you too. So where do I begin? I'm going to do work and finance first. We'll transition into health and then love. All right, so let's start with financial. That's actually coming in as, you know what, I'm going to start with work. Finance is the easiest, but they're so intertwined here that I always, read these 2 together. But let's start with work. Work talks about lessons repeating here. Your work corner is a very big part of your life too. It is work, business, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement if you're of that age. This is entrepreneurship. For most people, it's the job, but it can also be learning new things, hobbies and interests. All that kind of stuff falls into the same corner. So what they're talking about here is learning from old mistakes. Repetitious stuff here is coming up again for a lot of my Cancers in this work corner. So things that you've dealt with before, you're going to possibly be dealing with in some form again in the month of June. So they're just letting you know that. Be warned. And they show you're actually on a good part of this here. So it's not like you're struggling very terribly with this. But at the same time, it is a challenge for you. And they actually show that you kind of hovering and kind of like ducking away, not hovering, but like hiding behind something where you just don't want to deal with this. You don't want either somebody to see you if it's about a person here. You run into this person in the grocery store, for example, or in the workplace. I guess would be a better example since they're talking about work corner stuff. You run into somebody that you used to work with. I didn't really want to see this person. Here we go. That's the kind of energy that this is about. Now that is speculating about the specifics of it, but The energy is that. Okay, so getting the context of the general reading is key here to making that kick, because we do have a lot of Cancers tuning in. So if you're looking for personal private messages specific only to you, I do offer a wide variety of services on my website, scottsagent.com. So that's what comes in first for June in work. Now they also show really needing to nurture your mindset here. So you got to get your mind right. You got to get your mind in the right place as far as work goes in the month of June. It's very important to do that. They basically say that work is either scattering this energy, or maybe it's stressful, maybe it's anxiety, because this is a sword, and when we deal with swords in tarot, they're talking about the mental cerebral suit. So here, this is all up here, and that's what you need to nurture. So you need to nurture your mental health, dealing with stress and anxiety in a way that the best you can here. Really need to put the energy into that in the month of June. The last thing they show here is a social imbalance with work, actually, that needs to be rectified, needs to be remedied a little bit here. So some of you are either putting too much time into work, you're not getting to have a social life, you're not getting out enough, having enough fun, and others of you are doing the opposite of that. You're having way too much fun, you're going out way too much, and your work is being affected by that. So what do we want to do? We want to even this keel out here. We want to have a nice little balance going on in that work corner, and that's what they show. So that can be going out with friends, family members, anybody close to your heart. And going out and having fun is a great thing to do. We always want to enjoy life, but you don't want to, do it all the time. You don't want to spend all your money and then not have any for like the basic essentials, right? So that's kind of the idea of what's going on there. Just find a nice equilibrium, and that's all checking in fine. Now, when we get down into the financial corner, we have some great news kicking off. We have new money coming in. This is a coin, Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles can be health and tarot, but this is the financial corner. So when they show me a coin, I'm going to attach it to new money. Now this can also be, I've seen this come up when somebody like buys a house, buys a car, buying something new, something that you can actually touch. Okay, you cannot touch an idea. You cannot touch an emotion or a feeling. Those do not have atoms, last time I checked. So this is something that you can actually touch. It's actually something tangible that is new coming in, that you're either getting this new money, which is also tangible, or you're spending this new money on in the financial corner. Now what they show is that a lot of you are putting this money into something health related, or into something that is just, or maybe this is just a flow of money that is kind of like filling a gap for a lot of you Cancers here, where maybe it's you were beaten up financially a little bit before, and you're kind of getting over that, and here comes that next phase with this next little chunk, right? So you're getting a nice little kick here, something financial in the month of June. All things coming in good there, because they show you kind of being beaten up before. Now that can be a card about physically hurt or injured, and that's why I attach part of it to health, but it can also be about, hey, your finances were just a little beaten up before. Having a rough go of it, not too long ago. But here it is getting better in June. Very nice thing to see. All right, Cancers, let's get into some health. And then we're going to break away from moon cycles. Health is coming in with hard work being done. Hopefully that's you. Because if you're putting in the work, that's what they're calling for. So you're already here. Check box, mate. You're there. Okay, so if that's where you're at, all things checking in good. If you're not, Cancer, you got to put in the work here. June is it. June is the best time to start, best time to push for something new, getting something out as well. We're going to talk about that momentarily with those moon cycles, but what they show here is stagnation with my Hangman card. So something in your health corner is hemmed up, and they show the Hangman himself here in this deck that they wanted me to use for you Cancers. He's all bound up in his feet, his ankles, his feet, his leg there. So this could be something health related there. Maybe it's Spirit's way of saying, hey, you know what, you need to get up and start walking. Maybe be careful of your feet health, your legs and calves, something there may be tweaked, or something sprained, something like that. So we have stagnation in that area, or it's just stagnation in a more general scope. Either way, we got to get this energy moving here. So you got to figure out the context of what they're trying to tell you, so you can adjust and fix this, because they talk about doing the work. It is hard work, but it is worth the hard work. The last thing they show here is really needing to nurture this corner. It's like Spirit is just doing this, and they're just saying, hey, you know what, these other corners, yeah, but health, like everybody's pointing at it. That's what they're doing. They're saying you're not nurturing this enough, Cancer. You need to really figure this out, get this straightened out. And you know what? We want you to be here for a while, Cancer. And not only do we want you to be here for a while, we want you to be here with nice mobility, being able to move around on your feet very well, getting the circulation going, getting whatever it is that they're talking about for you here. So that is what they're saying. The month of June, if you take nothing else away from this whole reading, Cancer, get your health right. Yeah, whatever it is for you that you could do to improve your health, whether it's getting on something, getting off of something, whatever it is for you, very much a strong priority coming from Spirit directly. Now, before I get into your love corner, the infamous love family corner, I do want to break away to tell you about the moon cycles in the month of June, and we'll be right back with that love corner. Okay guys, it is moon cycle forecast time. We have a pretty simple set of moon cycles for this summer, June and July, and we start getting into some larger lunar events in August. But first, here's the transition to how things are moving, because the new moon is starting to move up. It's already pretty much smack dab in the middle of the month, and the full moon also moving up is right at the beginning of the month. But pretty soon, that full moon is going to drop to the end of the month, and the new moon is going to keep moving up until it's at the beginning of the month. That's happening very quickly. But first, in June, we have the full moon that comes in first, and that hits on June 3rd. This is the best time to get anything out of your life that you don't want there. Whether it's a toxic person that's got to go, whether it's an old habit that you got to kick, whether this is something you got to sell, or maybe a project you got to finish up, all that is best placed under the full moon energy. And that just helps you kind of get that stuff out and get the change to stick. And you don't have to do it on the 3rd either. Just any time right toward the beginning of June is key for that. But don't wait too long, because in the middle of the month, we have that new moon energy that hits on June 18th. And that is the best time to bring new things into your life and to manifest and to bring anything in that you're trying to do, whether it's health related, start something new with health, start a new diet, start a new exercise program. You're trying to attract a new love. Maybe you're trying to attract a new job or a new promotion, or you're just trying to do something new with money. It doesn't matter what it is. Using the new moon energy, it can happen much easier in the middle of the month versus any other time in the month of June. If any of this has confused you, I've put together a moon cycle forecast cheat sheet, and that is available every single month on my website, scottsagent.com, and it kind of shows you a visual aid, little graphic illustration of how these energies move in and out, so you can better utilize positive change, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day, is just making things go a little bit smoother for us. Now, let's get into the gemstone and the new product. Well, there is no new gemstone this month. We're going to take a break. We've just done 5 in a row starting in 2023. Those are all unveiled and available on the website, scottsagent.com, with the write-up sheet, which is very intuitive about what each gemstone does and how it can be properly used, and the new product. Now that I have to tell you about, because we are kicking off the gemstone again in July. It's coming back. We're going to drop a new one in July. But here in June, I have such a big product that I'm unveiling. That's why I decided to step away from the gemstone for a month. So the new product is a combination of actually 2 products. And I've been talking about this for my people for a very long time now. So this won't come as a surprise to everybody. But it's called a My Month Deluxe. It first takes my most popular product that I've ever put together, the My Month product. It talks all about your month, about that 30-day window that's being read for, so it's a nice little batch of divination there, very affordable for your month. The other thing that it's going to be combined with is already a set of 2 readings. It's an angel protection and animal totem package. It's angel protection and it's animal totems all combined in one. So now it's kind of like 3 readings in one we're doing here. It is a huge hit of divination, all in one package, one very affordable package when we kind of bundle it all together. And that product is going to be called a My Month Deluxe. It is available right now on the website, scottsagent.com. And guess what? If you're signed up for the newsletter, you're going to get a free one of these in June. Check your newsletter. It gives you instructions on how to do that. You're going to get a follow-up wonderful coupon for anything you buy after that. And oh my gosh, if you're not signed up for the newsletter, why haven't you? I give my newsletter people, I take great care of them, and I give them a couple free readings every single year just by being signed up to the newsletter. You can sign up for that at the very bottom of any page on scottsagent.com. And now let's get back to your reading. Okay, Cancer, I am back and it is Love Corner time. The first thing they talk about here is my Hoarder card. This is a weird energy, though, for the deck that they wanted me to use for you when this card comes up, because this is a heart hoarding. So a lot of you have been hoarding here, like there's cordage here attached to a lot of my Cancer's heart here that is just, it's too much. It is way too heavy. We need to let go of this. We need to purge this a little bit here. I know we just talked about those moon cycles. That is very full moon energy, getting something out of your life type energy. And because they talk about how toxic that this either has become or could become. So you don't want to be too attached to certain things. There are some attachments that are good, that are lifelong, and that's healthy. But as soon as they get unhealthy, that's when we want to draw that line. That's when we want to sever these connections, these cordages, and that's what they talk about here. So they really want to talk about like letting something go that you've been holding on to for too long in this love and family corner. And they can talk about anything close to your heart that comes up here. Maybe it's the death of a pet. Maybe it's a friendship loss, something like that. Anything up there. It could be a loss of somebody more directly than that. But what they show beyond that is, like I said, is that there's something needs to be purified here. There's something that has just become unhealthy, and that's what we need to address here for a lot of my cancers. And it may be in a way that you didn't even suspect before. But when you hear this, maybe you can kind of pull back a little bit, zoom out, and understand, you know what, okay, well, maybe I have gone a little bit too heavy with this. Maybe I do need to separate myself from this person, or, really give myself time to heal from this situation, this circumstance. So that's really what they're talking about here in the love corner. And the last thing they show here is just deciding, just making the decision that you want to do this, or that you want to move on from it, or that you're going to move on from it. That's the key here. That's what they're looking back at the hoarding part of. They're saying you hold the key to this. There's no victim mode here. Like they're saying you're good to go. All you got to do is decide, and say a prayer, and then go out in the sun and receive your prayer. That's basically what they're saying here with the judgment card. It's saying once you decide, you set forth a new path. And all you got to do at that point is just walk down the path you've already set for yourself. It's like you've already cleared the way. Now you just got to go. So that's the key there, is making that decision, going back to that first card. So there we go. There's some love corner. Now let me grab that rune stone for you guys, and we'll get into your animal totems. These are already mixed up, but I'll give them one more swirl. Always do that. So here we go with Cancer rune stone for June. This is the rune stone of possessions, the things that are in your control. They talked about control in that love corner and getting rid of some cordage there that has got unhealthy. That is a possession. If it's got control of you, it's a possession. Now, possession, they can also be talking about things that you possess, like your personal belongings here. Now, in the financial corner, it can be about that. And in this case, you would be adding one, because it looks like you're spending money or you're accumulating money in some form there. So a lot of you using it for a possession, okay? Possessions in the workplace, I don't think so as much there. And then possessions in the health corner, I think also not so much. So the love corner resonates pretty hard with possessions, and also the financial corner. So there we go. There's the rune stone to wrap that up. Now let's get into some animal totems, guys. My favorite part. Here we go. Cannot do that. That's a major arcana card. I can do that one, and we're giving you guys two of them. There we go. I can do both of these. And keep in mind that this is available as a personal product. It's actually part of two readings kind of combined, married together. It's the Angel Protection and Animal Totem package. And that is available on scottsagent.com. If this is something that you think is interesting and that you like, but you want it more personalized just to you, you don't want to be sharing it with all of your Cancer friends, well, that's what the website's for. All of my products and services are personalized just to you. Okay, our first animal, guys, is going to be an antelope. Very interesting, because I have deer. They didn't give you deer. They gave you antelope. Antelope. So a little African vibe. And then we're moving into, getting out of antelope, and we're moving into, if I get the right page, moving into a cardinal. Antelope into cardinal. Told you, interesting one. We never know what they're going to give us. So, all right, so the antelope, being that it's an African herd animal and very susceptible prey to a lot of carnivores and a lot of stuff, he needs to stay with his group quite a bit. Very reliant on the group. Social dynamics too. All that stuff. Yeah, antelope all by himself, he does not do so well, Cancer. So when we move into cardinal, the cardinal, you don't see a flock of cardinals. You might see a cardinal or a pair of cardinals, but that's about it. So what they're saying is it's less about group energy. This is just part of the message, but part of it is less about group and more about just you or you plus one. Okay, you and somebody else. And that's what it's all about in June. This is not about the whole picture. This is not about everybody going on here. And also with Cardinal, it can be about a loved one coming in here. So maybe they want you to connect to a loved one of yours, because that is a huge deal. A lot of people, when they see Cardinals, they think immediately of, somebody who's passed. So that is a message for that too, to move into that. Maybe you guys can have a really good scope of connection going on here. Maybe you're highly vibratory right now, something like that. I also have a personal product that's called Messages from Heaven, if that's something that interests you, also on the website. So what else from Antelope into Cardinal? Flight. Flight is a big one. You know, moving from grounded, being grounded is good. However, being airborne is better. You have just more options here. Of course, cardinals can walk and hop on the ground too, but they also have flight, so they can launch. That's what they're saying for you to do here, Cancer, is to not hold back. Don't be on the lookout for predators all the time. You guys can actually launch. You guys can launch like a cardinal, take flight, maybe zoom out on your life a little bit too. Take a little inventory, because Cardinal has that wide view when he's flying. He can see everything from above, nice and clearly. In that way, we can make the best decisions for us, instead of the antelope, which is much more grounded. He's stuck, you know, a couple feet off the ground, and that's pretty much all he can see. Now, he has a wide view, but not as wide as the bird's eye view. So if there's anything else that I forgot to talk about that's important from antelope into cardinal, I'll put that in the text above my head, but I think we did a pretty good job with the covering of the core functions there. So there we go. There's your animal totem, guys. Very interesting. So that concludes what has been a fun reading for my great Cancers. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe. I do these videos every single month, and have a great June. I know you will.